My name is Evie.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Portland. For the second annual Portland Jigsaw Masters, we're so happy to have everybody here. Lot going on. It's been a busy week, but we're beyond excited to have the weather. Looks like the weather's going to turn out a little cooler for us. It's been, if you haven't been here, it's been in the 90s, almost 100. So anyway, a few things I wanted to go over to begin with. We have, as you probably noticed, more table. If you were here last year, we have more tables this year. We have a lot more participants and players, and we did last year probably up, I don't think it's, what are we up, like 40%. So it's just a great number. We really appreciate everybody taking the time to come. We have a few new things that are different this year. We wanted to make sure that you know about them. If you were, how many people were here last year? Oh, okay, so about half. So that means there's quite a few new faces, and I want to make sure that we answer all your questions. We're here to help. We want this to be an extremely fun event for each of you, and it's important that we, if you have something or a thought or comment, whatever it is, let us know. We're here to make this a really enjoyable event for each of you. Let's see here. Last year, we had this event was live streamed all around the world on YouTube. Again, this year it is also, and we're hoping to take those numbers like we had in participants and be able to improve that. and see how many people watch. So if you have family and friends at home and you would like to have them watch, it's on the Portland Jigsaw Masters channel on YouTube. So please let them know. It's going to be throughout the entire weekend, and we're excited to have that. And speaking of that, I wanted to introduce this year's announcers for the weekend. We have Rob Shields from Portland, Oregon. Rob does a phenomenal job. He's helped out at the U.S. Nationals, and he's helped out some others. But we're lucky that we have him. He's right here from Portland, and he's been a big part of our weekly speed puzzling that we've had for years. And he's done a lot of homework, a lot of trying to do, just put together all kinds of different information. So when you go back and you watch the live stream, I think you're going to really see his homework. Also with him is a newcomer to the speed puzzling world, Carly Craig from New York City. Came out to do her very first speed puzzling event, and hopefully it's not her last. I think she'll do just great. Let's see here. We have a couple more things I wanted to mention. Sponsors. As with any event, without sponsors, you can't put on something like we have here today. This is a great venue, the live stream, all of that. It's because we have obviously participants and players that come, but it's real important that we have a super group of sponsors, and we really do. I want to, number one, call out each one, and then I have, I'd like to see if I could get Linda to come up and say a word about Cobble Hill, who is one of the main title sponsors. La Paz Puzzles is with us as a sponsor. Good Puzzles, all the way from St. Louis, Missouri. Zatco is from New York. Aurora Puzzles they're from Alaska. Yeah. Good World Puzzles, they're with us from California and maybe Portland soon. We've got Completing the Puzzle has helped us, and they are from Texas. And also, last but certainly not least, we have Preserve My Puzzle from Brooklyn, New York. And we're excited to see them here. One thing about Preserve My Puzzle is something we're doing a little bit different this year is we're going to have an award for every single prelim winner also. So if you win the prelims, you're going to receive whatever you like from Preserve My Puzzle. They have beautiful frames and laminates over there to permanently have a frameable piece for your wall. One other thing this year, it's kind of special. Last year we had our event, and we wanted to do something for the overall individual winner, because we think that's something that really should be celebrated. And so what we did, the last year's winner was Kathy Reuter. And I think she's unavailable this year, but we wanted to, from this year moving forward, we are going to have a beautiful Cordigan sweater. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it is from Dehan 1920, which is a company right here that's over 100 years old in Portland.
That's a really nice one.
And they have been making Letterman jackets and others. And if you get a chance, please come up and check this out. It's really nice. We're going to retroactively, because since we're going to give this moving forward, we didn't want the first winner to not have one. So we made Kathy a sweater. And this year's winner, we will have, and it's just a beautiful piece.
Beautiful piece.
I hope it's a keepsake for whoever wins.
Beautiful keepsake.
Let's see here. Prelims. Rules. Okay. Since there's a lot of new faces, it's a big deal where we want to make sure that everybody understands the rules. We're not overly strict, but there are certain things that we want to make sure that you adhere to. We have all the folks over here with the colored jackets, vest. They're going to be the floor monitors. You can ask them a question if you have a question. But for the main part, they're here to make sure that nothing gets in your way and you can focus in on your puzzling. One of the biggest rules in speed puzzling is if you happen to drop a piece on the floor or wherever it may go, we cannot help you find that piece. Nobody can help you. If you get to the end and you are missing a piece, please don't worry about it too much. It's only a 10-second penalty. But when you get to the end, make sure that you either bang on the table or raise your hand. We will be watching, so we will have a good idea, but we want to make sure we get your timing correct. We want to make sure that we get it, because it's important. There's going to be 16 of each of you in this prelim that will advance to the final. At the end, there will be two wild cards that will move on with time. So if you're in that 17th spot, hang on, because you still might be able to get into the final. Does anybody have any questions? I want to make sure that I don't know if there's anything that somebody wants to ask.
Lane,
Yes.
just mention that we are making the other drawstring bags. Haven't done so already.
Say that again.
Your drawstring bags, we will be taking them up.
Yes. Okay. So once you open your drawstring bags, please just throw it on the floor, and the floor monitors will come by and they will pick it up. So what I'd like to do is have one of our title sponsors here, a very special group to us, is Cobble Hill Puzzle Company, and that's going to be your first. That's going to be the first puzzle that you do, and we really want to thank. This is Linda Maxwell. She's come down from corporate, and she is here to welcome each of you. A lot of you may know her, but here.
Hello, thank you, and welcome everyone. We hope everybody has a great time this weekend. I'll keep this short because I know you all want to get puzzling. Just wanted to let you know that I am Linda from Cobble Hill, and and I'm just grateful to Lane and Andrew, the Portland Puzzle Company, for having us here. So thank you. And just to introduce really quick, Allegra at the back. She is our creative art designer. And she and I have both been with the company since the very beginning of time. So if you have questions, let us know. Other than that, we hope you enjoy the 5 brand new puzzles that we have for you this weekend, and have a great time. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. It's great to have Cobble Hill with us. So if nobody has any further questions, yes. The puzzles are not. We have, well, wait. The wrapping around there is no shrink wrap around the boxes. But the puzzles are in a bag inside the bag. Right. We wanted to try and make it a little bit easier so you don't have to deal with the shrink wrapping. Okay, if nobody has any further questions, I think, are you guys ready with the countdown in the back? Okay, they're good. If everybody's good, let's do a countdown. Where's the...
Wow. Here we go. We're about to jump into our countdown. This is a really big moment.
Okay. Are we doing a countdown? Do I need to do the countdown?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we're going to start off with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
We're off. And
All right, we are off. Hello, good morning, Rob.
Good morning, Carly. We're at the 2025 Portland Jigsaw Masters, where we've just kicked off the individuals preliminary 1. This is very exciting. I'm Rob Shields. I host a podcast called Peace Talks, and joining me today and for the rest of the weekend
Yes.
is actress, comedian, first-time puzzle host, and Portland Puzzle Nepo baby, Carly Craig.
Yes, I am indeed a puzzle Nepo baby. Uncle Lane, Lane Weatherly, the one who owns the Portland Puzzle Company, invited me to be here this weekend, and I'm so excited to learn about speed puzzling. I quite literally know nothing, Rob.
That'll be amazing. Also, some people have to get here on their merits, Carly.
Right, of course.
We can't all Nepo baby ourselves in here.
Yeah, I do recognize my privilege, and it's a responsibility I do not take lightly, Rob.
All right, so we're off and running here. As
Yes.
you can see, we're seeing a lot of people. They've unboxed. There's a bag on the inside. They've gotten rid of the bag, and now
Oh, a
they're
bag,
doing
you
the first
say?
start. Yeah. So why don't
Bag,
you?
you say?
You got a bag yourself. What you got in that bag?
I do. Let me see what's in my bag. So this is what's in my bag. Hello, my name is Carly. This is what's in my bag. We have a beautiful Cobble Hill 500 piece puzzle. So if you could clarify for me, Rob, everybody's got the same. Well, it's a different design on each puzzle. Yeah.
No, it's the same design.
Same design.
Before we get a little too much farther,
Sure.
Couple of quick things. We're doing this sort of experimental. We're trying a bunch of new things, so we'll see how that goes. You can see the puzzle on the screen. But one of the things that we're doing is bringing in experts to join us with the first part of the commentary.
Fabulous.
With that in mind,
Yes.
we have joining us today E.B. Karen, who is a puzzler extraordinaire,
All right.
occasional co-host on Peace Talks, and as near as I can tell, an astronaut in training.
Oh, is that right?
It's true. E.B., are you there? E.B., how are you?
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Carly.
Welcome.
Nice to meet you. Hi, Rob.
Hey, E.B.
Oh, nice to meet you as well.
So what do you think about this puzzle?
Well, it strikes me that there are at least 2 other Cobble Hill scenes that are pretty similar. And I am guessing that some of our competitors have done, I've done at least one, like, back the pickup truck scene by Cobble Hill. So I'm guessing some of our competitors have probably done some similar puzzles, although not this one.
Yeah, I do love that there's a beagle on it. I myself am a beagle owner. So this is, I had nothing to do with the selection of the design today, but, this is really personal and hits close to home for me.
And just to answer your earlier question, each person is getting the same puzzle. So everybody is doing the same puzzle simultaneously. This is the Cobble Hill 500-piece puzzle. And for those of you who are new to this kind of competition, the goal is just to be the first one done. So it is a race, and the first one across the line wins.
Wow, this is so amazing. So I would love to know, what is the purpose of the trays? I see that a couple people have trays on their tables.
Yeah, do you want to take that one, E.B.? You're the
Sure.
most professional of us.
So trays are useful for sorting and moving pieces. And I think you'll see even more people using trays as the weekend goes on, because I think many people find them more helpful in pair and team puzzling.
Right. That does make sense. Compartmentalization at its finest, I would say.
Yeah, so what we're seeing here is that the people have gotten their puzzles out. The first thing that most people do is they flip the puzzles over. Some may be sorting at the same time. The fastest people will be doing a flip and sort simultaneously in about 2.5 minutes, 2.5 to 3 minutes. So if you're more like me, which is a sub-average puzzler, you're going to do it in about 5 minutes, so about 100 pieces per minute being flipped and sorted at the same time.
Wow.
And
That's
here
pretty
on
fast.
screen now is Jessa Douglas, and we can see that she's actually starting her edge already.
Yeah, so a good deal of people, one of the first things they're going to do once they get the flip and sort done is they're going to get an edge stood up. It's not always a given that you're going to do an edge. Some people prefer the edge as the thing that they are doing as a always thing that they're going to do, but some people do it more strategically. Sometimes the edge has a lot of different information in it. Then you can put it together quickly and it gets a lot of pieces out of the way right away. Sometimes it's like a white border and there's really not a lot you can do with this. So this one looks like it's got a lot going on. I'm going to steal the
Yeah,
puzzle so
go
I can
for
take
it,
a look at
Rob. Take a look. So I do notice that a lot of our competitors, including Jessa here, they have headphones on. Is that a common method? I'm seeing a lot of headphones now that I'm really looking out at the crowd here. I mean, I myself like to listen to music when I exercise and clean my house, do my laundry, things of that nature, but never for puzzling.
Yeah, a lot of people do it in part because you have your own hype music. You
Totally.
might want it to go the speed that you want, but also it tends to block everything else out, right? Because there
Sure.
can be a lot going on, especially in a competition like this. There's music in this case, so a
Lot of
lot of people
stimulation.
don't like to hear music. There's announcing, so not everybody wants to hear the announcing. There's camera people moving along.
Right.
There's all kinds of things going on. So in individuals, you'll see it. In pairs, less so, although it does show up, and then in teams, pretty rarely.
So, Rob, do you have a hype song that gets you in the zone?
I don't, but my puzzle partner, who's out in the field now, Rachel Shields,
Okay.
she's a big fan of Eye of the Tiger to get her going.
I love that. That is right on the money. You know, if I had to take a guess at any hype song, that would be the one. Mine would probably be Pump Up the Jam, in case you were wondering.
I was. All right, so
On screen now is Andrea Heastand
yeah.
from Michigan. Now we've got back the whole room scene.
Yeah, so how was Andrea doing?
Switched off a little too fast to tell.
I'm going to ask the chat as well. If anybody has any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. We are live monitoring it, and I would love to throw it to one of our experts here to get your questions answered.
This is my favorite part, is once the whole thing gets started, there's that initial flurry of noise and everything gets sorted and flipped and all the activity happens. I love that. I love watching people do their opening strategies, taking a look at the puzzle and reacting to it in the way that makes sense for how they approach puzzling. And then you just sort of settle into a calm for a while while people are puzzling away at things. They're just kind of doing the work of getting the puzzle done.
And I have to say, this is a beautiful venue. Shout out to Avenue Portland for hosting us this year. Their projections are beautiful. As you can see, the live stream is absolutely gorgeous. And I mean, they were measuring these tables. You need a lot of space for a competition like this. So thank you, Avenue Portland, for hosting us this year.
Yeah, they've done something new with the lighting, which I actually think is great. Lighting is one of those things that's always challenging once you get into puzzling.
Yep.
And it looks like what they've done here is actually a big improvement on what they had done last year.
Okay, great to know. Lighting is very important in show business as well, not just puzzling.
Looks like Andrea's got some edges going on here. I can see elsewhere that Ali Arundel has got most of the edges going. And E.B., you have some knowledge of those two folks.
Right. I was on a team with them for 2025 nationals. So,
Fantastic.
and they compete together as a pair as well. They competed as a pair at nationals, and they'll be together as a pair this weekend.
Do you have any insights as to how they approach a puzzle?
They're pretty quick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they're on your team, I imagine they would be. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I have as I do, I run some stats on to see what we can understand about the competition. So I have a global ranking of all the jigsaw puzzlers in the world, and I have Ali and Andrea at 173 and 203 respectively. This is out of the tens of thousands of people, or 10 of thousands of people who are competing, and we currently have I think Jessa has the highest ranking at 168. She's at table 1, and these people, just to give you a sense of how fast these people go, Carly.
Yes.
Their average time for Jessa, for example, to finish a 500-piece puzzle is 52 minutes.
Wow. Okay. So it's fast, but also as long as it takes to eat a robust meal.
I mean, if you're me, it takes a lot longer to finish a puzzle than a meal, but maybe that's just me.
Absolutely. I like to graze. I'm more of a grazer.
Yeah, I wonder if we can get a shot of Jessa and Ali because they're doing some interesting things over here that would be great to see. Okay, so there we're looking at Jessa.
Okay, Jessa.
And I know everybody has that cardigan on their mind. I don't know if the live stream picked that up, but beautiful cardigan that is going to be the prize for our grand prize winner this weekend.
Mm-hmm. It's always nice to get an article of clothing for a job well done.
Oh yes, and I felt the sweater myself, and I have to say it's very warm. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, let's get a close up of our cardigan. And let me tell you, I am a sucker for embroidery. I love an embroidered piece. And I think that just the quality of this cardigan is something that this grand prize winner is really going to deserve.
So one of the things that is interesting here is that, Jess has got her edges all, for the most part, stood up. She's working in the middle of the puzzle.
Sure.
Allie right next to her, who we can't see quite at the moment, has got her frame stood up and is very empty on the inside. Different puzzlers have very different approaches to how they manage the interior space of where the puzzle would be. Some are very methodical, clean. Others are very chaotic, and they just kind of, you watch them and they're continually making order out of the chaos that's in front of them.
Yeah, different strokes for different folks. So I got to know, Rob, how did you initially discover your passion for puzzling?
It was in we were reading A.J. Jacobs' The Puzzler book.
Okay.
The very first chapter is on competitive jigsaw puzzling.
Okay.
We never got to any other chapters.
Is that a novel?
No, it's A.J. Jacobs is an author who tends to immerse himself in things and then write a book about it. So he did The Year of
Oh.
Living Constitutionally, where he
Okay.
tried to act out everything, or adhere to the things in the Constitution. He did The Year of Living Biblically, same idea. And so he did a book about every chapter was a different puzzle. And so that captured our attention. My wife
Fascinating
Rachel and I.
fellow.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's single.
Well, he did compete in the 2019 competition in Worlds.
Oh, I just missed him.
Him and his wife and kids.
Oh.
And ultimately, I think they finished absolutely last or very close to last.
Got it. So he does have a family.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, so
well.
this is some work you'll have to do there.
Okay. So
So Evie, how would you approach this puzzle?
Ooh, good question. It is a busier puzzle. The top is going to be pretty, I think, easy to sort out and then complete. I really like the look of those flags. I think that'll be pretty straightforward for a lot of puzzlers. And then I think the truck and the contents of the truck may be a bit harder, especially for those who prefer like simpler images or large sections of the same color.
That's right. There's a lot going on in this one. The good news is that a lot of it is pretty well, like there's focuses of area, focuses of color, focuses of types of flowers. So it's not like I'm not seeing a lot of like where you would see the same kind of texture in multiple places, the same type of color in multiple places.
People may not like, oh, I'm glad we get to see it again. People may not like those leaves, actually, now that I'm getting a second look. The leaves are, yeah, maybe a challenge. Will make this sky maybe a bit more challenging.
How so? Just because they're the same texture over and over again, or?
Well, they're one of the F's.
Oh, tell me about the F's.
Foliage. So
Foliage.
the F's of puzzling are things that many puzzlers struggle with or don't particularly enjoy. They include fur is a big one, fish, flowers, foliage.
wow.
There may be some other F's, but those are the ones that come to mind right now.
Fish is the one out of the list that I'm sort of surprised by. Give me your sort of expert opinion on why fish are
Yeah,
challenging.
one of these things are not like the other.
Scales, like large fish with scales. It's basically the same as fur.
Got it.
Well, I am just absolutely amazed by the talent on the floor today. I know that we have tons of cameras placed all over the beautiful venue, Avenue Portland here, so our live streamers can get a really good look at each of our competitors. And shout out to our floor monitors. I believe everybody is a volunteer who shares a passion and a love for speed puzzling. So thank you to all of our volunteers today.
Yeah, it is true that the competitive speed puzzling does run on volunteers. The volunteers, I mean, the
Wow.
puzzling community in general is really great. The volunteering is, volunteers are really great. Also, volunteering is a great way of experiencing competitive jigsaw puzzling. When we went to nationals the first time, we volunteered there, and it was just as fun to be on the floor doing volunteering as it was to do the actual puzzles. Plus, you get to
bet.
meet a lot of fun people.
So I do have a question here in the chat. Nikita wants to know, is this a new release from Cobble Hill?
Yeah, they said all 5 of them are going to be new releases, all 5 of their puzzles, which is pretty great, actually, because it turns out that not everywhere can you have a new release puzzle, like,
Sure.
especially with smaller competitions. And when people have seen puzzles, sort of what EB was alluding to earlier, when you know a puzzle, even if you've just seen it a lot or you've done a version of it, it can be helpful in terms of making you go fast. In fact, we'll look at some stats on this a little later, but the more you do things, obviously, the faster you go with that puzzle.
Sure.
And so having a new release puzzle puts everybody on the same foot, right? We're not competing against somebody else who has a lot of experience with the same puzzle.
So I'm seeing here that our competitor here on the screen has half of the image laid out in front of her in addition to the cover of the box. Is that a strategy as well, or is that simply a coincidence that she has it sitting there like that?
When you say
I
half
think
of the...
it's probably
Go
a
ahead.
coincidence. It looks
Okay.
like inside her box she has the poster.
And it's folded in half.
That's
Yeah.
one nice thing about Cobble Hill puzzles is that they come with an additional larger poster.
Cool. Very nice.
Yeah, she's got some sky going on. You see that she's doing what I was saying before. Is this is a person who's working in the puzzle, like in the pieces, and so she's very much more opportunistic, I would say, about where things are going. She's not doing any kind of pre-sorting of the parts. She's just working with them where they are, and making it happen. There's a Zach-Co puzzle board, by the way, sponsor.
All right.
Looks
have
like
to say
this
I'm
is Nora
impressed.
Molina on screen now.
Nora Molina. She's got her headphones on. She is focused.
And we also see, what you'll also see, Carly,
Yes.
are some little mascot stuffies on
Oh, yeah, tell me
actually
about
many
those.
people's tables.
Can you explain that? Is that a motivational tool?
I can't explain it.
You can't explain it.
It is pretty. There's pretty common. Lots of people like to bring little emotional support animals, maybe.
Okay.
Like things that represent who they are, that can kind of help them along.
That is so touching and very, very sweet. I think I need to get myself a little motivational, emotional support stuffy.
Yeah, or you could just bring your dog with you everywhere.
I could, but he's a pandemic puppy, so I don't think that's a good idea. He has some emotional issues. More on that later.
All right. Foreshadowing.
Yes.
All right, so we're seeing a definitely more orderly approach here. This, I think, is Andrea Heastan.
It is.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're 18 minutes in here. Probably looking at 20%, a little more than that done.
We have some volunteers dancing, getting jiggy with it, I see.
It's interesting. I'm sort of surprised that nobody's just jumped right into the sky. I know that there are folks that like the sky a lot, but do you think, what you were saying, EB, about the foliage being a blocker to that, or people seem very opportunistic?
Yeah, I mean, on Andrea's puzzle here, we can see that she's using the line of the top of the truck. She's got that very much laid out. Very, very organized, just putting pieces where they go. We see just even some like individual or very small chunks laid out on her puzzle board. Now, Andrea is someone who likes large chunks of color, so I
Sure.
don't think this is really her, like that this puzzle is her strength, like
Sure.
the best puzzle for her. But I think her puzzle is showing us that she is keeping a very clear head and she's not letting it get to her head, and she's keeping her orderly strategies.
Yes, it seems like she already just there almost connected the top and the bottom already. I'm very impressed. And she has the beagle assembled as well. I gotta say, this is a beautiful puzzle. I love the animals. I love the foliage, and maybe that is why they selected this particular puzzle. It's a bit of a challenge, as you were mentioning, with the 4 Fs. There's a lot of fur and there's a lot of foliage and some flags.
Someone else in the chat reminded me of another F, which is feathers. That's
Oh, yeah,
Feathers.
feathers.
I see.
all the
So-
nature Fs.
So just not nature.
Just not right. So Nikita suggested to me here in the chat, if I practice in front of plushies, it can help me get over the fear of doing it in front of people and cameras. And streaming your practice sessions can help you get over the fear of somebody watching you while you puzzle. I mean, I imagine it's so much adrenaline probably for these competitors out here. I mean, the timer is up, the clock is running. They've probably been practicing puzzling, maybe live streaming their own practice sessions and whatnot, selecting the exact correct plushie to provide the support they need. There's so much that goes into it, Rob, that I truly did not realize until just now.
Yeah, there are folks like Michaela Keener who will actually go puzzle in like coffee shops just to gain the experience of having a bunch of random people moving around them. So they can be
Wow.
like, when you move into nationals or worlds where there's a lot of cameramen and a lot of other things going on,
Sure.
you sort of develop a more of a shield to having that around.
That makes a ton of sense. You got to flex the
All right.
muscle.
So we're seeing Alia Rendell on screen now. I know she was someone that you had wanted to get on screen, Rob. And it kind of looks to me like she does have more of that sky around those flags done, but it is a little, yeah.
Yeah, I see a lot of people doing a lot of different islands, which are sort of, I guess makes sense given how many different things are going on in this puzzle. I feel like often what you will see is a big group of things come together in one area where people find some larger thing that's low-hanging fruit they can just get themselves into. We're seeing a lot less of that here, and obviously there's a lot more things going on, so that's probably why.
So on the topic
Right.
of practice, we have someone here in the chat, Joyce, saying that her pairs partner and her practice at IKEA,
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
and that they have really nice tables
And snacks.
and snacks. Some Swedish meatballs and a puzzling practice. Sign me up. Any day of the week.
So, EB, any idea what you would expect the puzzlers to start finishing this particular one with?
What time?
Yeah, how long do you think it'll take?
I
Yeah, do we have
would say
predictions?
like low 40s, but based on their progress, I kind of want to add a few minutes. I want to say 44.
44.
44.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna go for 42. I'm gonna go for 42. Maybe 42 and 35 seconds. That's my prediction.
All right. All right. I'm going to go. I am terrible at this, which means that I will give everybody an advantage by telling them a terrible time. But I think this is going to be more closer to 50. I think it's going to be, I'm going to take the over on EB's prediction.
And I'm
That's
quite
a fair
literally,
guess.
I know nothing about this. This is my first time witnessing some speed puzzling. I'm a first timer, so my guess is completely blind.
So what do you think
Well, I
about
like
having?
how you made it specific.
Very specific,
Yeah.
just in case I do hit the
The
mark on this
35.
one, I have some bragging rights.
42-35. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
And you'll get a lot more chances to guess over the course of the weekend, too.
This is true. I gotta say, I am so grateful to be here. This is something, nothing like anything I've ever done before. Majority of my experience is working with children and teaching comedy. So to be here amongst these talented adults who are putting their heart and soul into their craft, I have to say I respect it, I appreciate it, and I'm really happy to be here, Rob.
Happy to have you. Always nice to have another ray of sunshine.
Oh, that
On my
is so
day.
sweet. Another in addition to you, of course.
Well, in EB as well, rays of sunshine.
Yes.
And,
And Lane.
Portland can often use rays of sunshine, although it's a beautiful day here today.
I haven't seen too much of Portland yet. I'll be here at Avenue Portland, majority of my visit, but I did get to walk around a little bit yesterday, and I gotta say, I've never been anywhere like Portland.
How so?
I will say it's very quirky. It's very quirky. The people are very friendly. I would say 50-50. We had some people that were, maybe having a tough day yesterday that I encountered, but for the most part, everybody's very friendly. And I love we got to do a social with some of our competitors last night at the Kex Hotel, I believe downtown. Is there well, there's many quadrants to Portland from what I understand.
Downtown? Yeah.
Yep. So we got to enjoy some time at the Kex Hotel. We got to display the cardigan, which is the grand prize winners. Once they take the cake, they're going to take also the cardigan home. So we had that on display, and we had some snacks. It was a lovely evening, Rob.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I'm sad I missed out on it. Looks like we were looking at Cosmo here a minute ago, and it looks like he's got a lot of that sky tackled, and some of the flowers are starting to come together.
Wow.
Now we're looking here at Jessa. It'd be great to get a more close-up shot of Jessa if we could manage that at some point. You can see that the top part of her puzzle is pretty filled in, and it looks like some of the main part of the truck, the stuff that's in the bed of the truck, is available or is being worked on there as well.
Yeah, it looks similar to what Allie had, actually. And as we are getting that closer look, it doesn't look like those leaves on the side or the foliage.
Yeah, the foliage, you're 100% on. It's almost like you've done this before.
Almost.
Almost. Actually, I have done a similar Cobble Hill puzzle before.
Right, you may have done exactly this or very close.
There were flags in that one, too.
Is that right?
The flags are fun, though. That's a good F.
So we did have a couple people on our social media yesterday asking about the distance of the tables. So we saw them measuring them yesterday. They are 7.5 feet apart lengthwise, and then widthwise, they're 3 feet apart. They made sure to grab a measuring stick and make sure that everything was fair, that everyone had the same amount of working space. And that's just the attention to detail that they give here at Avenue Portland.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a good amount of space. In other competitions, competitors are often limited to a 3x3 foot space, which makes an approach like what we're seeing on screen here more challenging. You can't spread out as much.
Sure. And, if you got Eye of the Tiger going in your headphones, you need some room to swing those hips.
Yeah, well, I mean, part of being an elite level puzzler is being able to listen to Eye of the Tiger without swinging the hips, because sometimes you just don't have the space for it.
Or you need to maintain your focus.
That's for sure. This looks like Jessa again.
Every day I'm puzzling. I believe that's a play on the song Hustlin', which is one of my favorite tracks.
Yep. While we're sort of in the intermediate time before we start heading towards the end, I wonder, so we have a great support team here,
Sure.
which includes the folks at the AV department, who is the production team running this.
Mm-hmm.
So from time to time, we're just going to reach out and ask them for some things. So at some point, we've brought together some images, some data, because puzzlers like data, and I especially like data. So I'm wondering if we can get the first chart up on the screen.
We have charts.
We have charts and graphs.
Wow.
Even later in the event, like later today, we will actually have a person live doing some stats with us. So this is courtesy of Jacob Palawa, who is an astronomer by day and a puzzle enthusiast by night. Put together some graphics just to show how the adoption of speed puzzling has increased over time. So what you're seeing here
Wow.
is there's a place where you can log scores on myspeedpuzzling.com. It's become very popular, and this just shows you how many scores are being entered at any given time over time. And then on the right-hand side is how many people are entering those scores. So you can see that we've seen quite the adoption of competitive jigsaw puzzling just by looking at their numbers alone. Now, those are aggregate numbers, so they add up as you go from left to right. But I think this does a good job of just showing how puzzling is growing. And we see that all the time. As Lane said, we saw a 40% improvement or increase in the number of people that we're seeing this time. And it just continues to grow. It's every time I talk to somebody who is running a competition, has run it for a while, I'm like, have you seen it slow down? And they're like, no.
It's only getting speedier.
Yeah.
And I have to say, for me, the statistics register and resonate a lot more when they are in Comic Sans. So I do appreciate that about this graphic.
Well, you can thank Jacob for that later.
Thank you, Jacob. Papyrus, I'm not so sure.
All right. All right, and we can go ahead and get rid of that. Take a better look at what's going out on the floor.
And if we have any additional questions in the chat, we are live monitoring it. We would love to hear your feedback on the live stream as well. Are you enjoying this experience? The AV team, like Rob mentioned here at Avenue Portland, has put many, many hours into the presentation today. So we would love to hear your feedback so that we can just make this better and better as the years go by and as speed puzzling inevitably becomes a cultural phenomenon.
I just want to do a shout out. We saw in the big shot overhead there just a second ago, somebody wearing some Peace Talk merchandise. Peace Talk being my competitive jigsaw puzzle podcast. That person was my partner in puzzles and in life, Rachel Shields. Looked like she was doing a great job. So glad to see her. And we're back. This is Andrea again. And look how much it's come together since last time we checked in.
I am so impressed.
Looking good.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of the center busy details are knocked out, and now it's a lot of the less pieces that have less obvious anchors to them, right? We got some fence posts, some sky, and then I'm sort of surprised we don't see more of the truck bed, the tailgate come together, but maybe I just can't see it very well.
I can't believe that 32 minutes have already gone by. I feel like I blinked, and here we are.
It just whizzes right past.
It sure does.
A fun
Speeds on
fact about Andrea is that her favorite job ever was working on a goat farm with a herd of like a couple hundred goats.
Hundreds. Is that right?
One of the great things about EB is that she has fun facts about pretty much anybody in the jigsaw puzzling community.
And that's why she's here with us today, our expert, EB.
We do a who to watch in front of the Worlds and the Nationals episodes, and just the amount of people that she talks to and information she has on all of those, so impressive. I don't know how you keep that all in your head.
I could work on it.
It sounds like you need to start writing a book.
Oh, so right now we're seeing Chloe on screen. Chloe is from the Bay Area.
Okay.
And is part of actually a team that beat my team with Allie and Andrea at Nationals this year, called Girls in Stemp. A P at the end for puzzling.
Very nice. And I have to say, I just love the energy of the puzzling community. It seems that everybody is very supportive of each other. And although it's a competitive environment, it seems like healthy competition and that you all are genuinely happy for each other when you take the big prize.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, I love to see people who are just about done. Maybe they're competing for first place and then the first person wins and they're still like, yeah, go you.
That's so sweet. We see another beagle on the screen. Shout out to my beagle at home, Otis, who's with my dog sitter.
That's Nicole Pichette, I think.
Ooh, and Nicole is noteworthy for her participation in the speed run, the USA JPA speed run last year.
Wow.
I think she ended up coming in third, or she wasn't the ultimate winner, but was like battling it back and forth across hundreds of repetitions of a actually Cobble Hill puzzle. So
Wow.
I'm guessing she's happy that she was placed in this preliminary round because she probably has the piece cuts of Cobble Hill puzzles memorized. So what I mean by that is for uniquely shaped pieces, she remembers it from repeating this different puzzle called Rainbow Cats literally hundreds of times and will know the location of where it goes on this puzzle. As
Yeah.
long, or possibly if it was cut at a 180-degree rotation, kind of the reverse place, the diagonally reverse place of where it goes.
Yeah, so she was third in that competition. We actually have first and second also joining us this weekend. So we'll have the opportunity actually to talk to Irina, who was the first place winner. I think in a couple of rounds from now, she'll be actually at the announcer table with us.
Oh, wow. How exciting.
We'll be talking about that.
So we do have some spectators here in the chat asking about the dimensions of the puzzle. Do we happen to have those on our box?
We usually do, yeah. So this one's 26. Oh, I love the specificity here. This is
Tell us.
26.625 inch by 19.25 inch puzzle. 67.6 centimeters and 48.9 centimeters for the non-Americans out there.
And so do we know if every round the are the puzzle piece counts going to change or the dimensions of the puzzles?
I don't know as much about the dimensions. They might change a little bit. I suspect they'll be roughly the same size, but the piece counts will be the same for, we have 3 rounds of individuals to qualify into the finals. The piece count will be the same for each of those. It's a 500, and I believe the finals is also a 500-piece puzzle. We have the duos where there are 2 people competing. They will also be competing with 500-piece puzzles in the first 2 qualifying rounds.
Okay.
And in the final round, I believe they have a 550-piece puzzle. And then the teams will be working on a 1,000-piece puzzle.
Wow. It seems that some of our competitors here are getting pretty close. Who is this here on the screen? Do we happen to know?
Don't.
Keep switching around.
But we got a lot of people to cover.
I think
Yeah.
this might be Andrea again.
Yeah, this is Andrea.
Wow.
Looking good.
Looking really good. And, you know, it's approaching 42-35 pretty soon. I feel like maybe I'm right on the money, but we'll find out.
Yeah, because it's interesting. A lot of times the end comes together really fast. Sometimes, depending on how complex the end is, it may take a while. It doesn't go together as fast as you might think.
I think Andrea is right on track.
I think you're right.
She's really focused.
Yeah, and I'm taking a look around and I'm looking over at Jessa and Allie, and it looks like they still have a fair, looks like they may be behind a ways. Oh yeah, Leslie, so she's doing well. I believe she's down from Seattle.
Leslie
yeah.
Richardson, Broadway lover.
She's a Broadway lover, a fanatic.
She is, yeah. She did a trip, I don't know, a couple months ago, where she was going to multiple shows, like every day, and just like binging Broadway.
Well, I'm a theater nerd myself. I wonder if there's a gap in the market here for some theater-inspired puzzles. I'm sure that we could get the theater community and the puzzling community, get them to mesh. Maybe that's what I take away from this event here, Rob.
Yes, there's a calling that you will need to pursue from here.
Bring it back to New York and get the theater community into some speed puzzling.
Seeing
Wow, Leslie
some
is
good connections happening on Leslie's table.
Wow. This is fascinating. We had a couple spectators in the chat suggest that I pull out a puzzle sometime this weekend and try to compete as well. Of course, I won't be coming for the cardigan or anything, but simply for fun.
But next year, maybe.
Yeah, next year, I mean, that is a nice sweater.
Yeah, we could. I think there are going to be some short puzzle speed sprints later on this evening. So you may have an opportunity to get in there and give it a shot.
Could you explain that a little bit?
I think we're just doing, I don't know the format. I haven't looked into it, but
Sure.
I think they're just doing some smaller piece competitions. after the main events are over today.
Okay.
More casual or semi-casual format.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely going to get some information because that sounds like my kind of party.
We
Our
have some
spectator-
people in the chat commenting on the piece cut and saying that it looks like, which I think is so cool. Props to all of you in the chat who can, from the views that we're getting, recognize that this is a different or like a newer piece cut for Cobble Hill than likely the version that they sped run, the Rainbow
Interesting.
Cat.
So could you explain the concept of piece cut? Is it the shape? Is it the depth of the cut?
So it is the exact map of all the pieces determined by the cutting tool or
I see.
I forget what the word is, but like the thing that goes into the cardboard and
Sure.
cuts the pieces apart.
Yeah, it's called a die, and it's basically just a really sharp knives shaped, like, and they just use that to, punch it over and over again. Your nepotism angle
Yes.
here, you could probably go see one of those in action. It's actually quite fun. But yeah, it's just you either make or have made the actual shapes in a wire kind of grid.
Okay.
Very sharp, and you just use that to push down into things. And so companies will use those dies over and over and over and over again. Often, they're using the same, they might have to replace them over time, but often they're trying to replace them with a very similar, if not the same shape. But that does allow for people to really get in and understand the cut of a particular thing, so that when you see a piece, you can say, I know where this piece goes because I'm familiar with how this grid works.
Oh, okay. That I am now understanding
There are
exactly how it applies to the strategy here.
There are a number of people who have either said or are rumored to have a good amount of pieces memorized for one or more different puzzle cuts. And to the
Wow.
extent that if they see a cut, they can tell you whether they're used to that puzzle being oriented one way or the other. So they might say that this is the upside down version of the cut, because usually they will cut it when they'll use the cut oriented towards the bottom, like in a particular. Like
Right.
they'll cut it in the same way every time, and it'll always be that a weird shape is in the bottom. But sometimes it spins around and it's at the top, and they can recognize that.
Like a giant cookie cutter, according to Gail McCormick here in the chat.
Hey, Gail.
Oh, it looks like Andrea is coming really close.
Yeah.
Oh, and we passed the 42-35 mark. Better luck next round for me.
Yeah. Well, I expect that by the end you'll be a pro at this.
Wow, Andrea is right here within our line of sight.
Yep, and it still looks like I'm looking at other folks that are near us that we can take a look at, and it still looks like she's the one that's out front.
She's our leader here.
Allie's, I think, maybe number 2, with Jessa maybe close behind. It's a little hard to see what's going on there, but I think those are the ones that we had going on.
I have to say, my heart is starting to beat a little fast. I'm very excited and very invested in this journey here.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, she is getting close.
Wow.
So now she's got as you said, the dreaded F foliage, but in a different way. It's not really trees, but like flowers. I guess this is the other F, but it more kind of dangly, viney sorts of things.
And so could we remind everybody at home sort of how it works as far as people advancing to
He's
the
on the
next
fence.
rounds?
Oh, it's on the fence. You're right. It's the gaps between the fence.
Wow.
Nice job.
Andrea.
All right.
So you weren't too far off. 43, 50?
43,
about?
50-ish.
Yeah.
Wow. Way to
I
go,
was
Andrea.
very close.
Wow.
Yeah, nailed it.
And Carly, good job.
Wow, thank you. Yes, I mean, I am just blown away by the talent here and the passion and the drive and the focus. I mean, what a lovely event to be a part of here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters 2025. And as we saw on our graphic earlier, this is a phenomenon that is only continuing to grow. Speed puzzling, the community just continues to expand. And not just here in Portland, but all over the country. We had many competitors here today that are from all over the country.
Yeah, a lot of people flew in, which is great.
Wow.
Yeah. Andrea is actually from Michigan.
Michigan.
She's the mom of 2 young kids, like under the age of 5.
I'm sure they're watching at home. Shout out to Andrea's kids. Hello. You must be so proud of mom. Wow. And so with Andrea having completed it first, does that hold any sort of weight as far as her advancing to the next round versus other competitors? Or how is this going to work? Does everybody continue to go to every round? How is this tallied up?
Yeah, great question. So there are 2 rounds for each of the competitions, except teams is just a single round event here.
Okay.
But there will be there are 3 individual preliminaries, and I believe the top third progress along to
Okay.
the finals. So
Okay.
there's preliminaries and finals, and then with the pairs there are 2 rounds, and so the top half of each move on.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you were talking about kind of getting excited about this, and the challenge that I always have is that when I'm watching competitions live, I'm always like, yeah, I'll swing by, I'll take a look, and then I'm going to go off and do something else. And I just get so invested in watching people compete and getting, the speed and the skill and getting towards the end that it's just as engaging as any other sort of sport competition.
Absolutely.
I tend to not be able to go do anything else.
We have an Isabel on the screen. I do love the wardrobe choices across the board. I love the intention here. We have a spectator here today, a puzzle enthusiast in a full puzzle outfit. We actually had the news here earlier today interviewing her. We'll have to get her name sometime soon.
Oh, I can tell you. So who you're seeing here is this is Isa. And Isa is She does a lot of competitions, but importantly, Isa is also a member of. She's one of the people that does the scoring for the USA Jigsaw Puzzle Association, and
Sure.
so Isa and myself are both involved in the ranking process, the scoring process for all of the events that happen. And so Isa's getting up to speed to I think we're doing a lot of fun infrastructure work to make that happen. And then the person in the background who you can see right there.
With her puzzle dress.
That's right. That's Tammy McLeod.
Tammy.
Tammy, Guinness Book of World Records holder.
No way.
For fastest assembled puzzle. Evie, do you remember the piece count of that puzzle?
It's 250 pieces, and she did it in just under 10 minutes on her record-breaking attempt.
Wow. Way to go, Tammy.
Yeah, she did a lot of those.
Tammy also makes a lot of her puzzle clothing. She has many hobbies.
Wow.
Including, clothes making, but also notably escape rooms. Tammy has done over 500 escape rooms
Wow.
and competed in the Red Bull World Escape Room Championships.
Shout out to Tammy McLeod,
All right.
Renaissance woman.
I think if we can get some shots of Jessa and Allie here, it looks like they're coming down to the end, and we'll see them wrap up.
Jessa and Allie.
And Leslie here is very close too.
Leslie's
Looks
close
like
too.
it's
I don't
gonna
know if
be
we
a
can
real
get them all
close
going at the
for
same
second
time.
place.
You could say Leslie is defying gravity.
Well done. Yeah, so she's working her hands really fast. She's getting those foliages done. You see she's just picking things up. Most of the time she knows where they goes, but sometimes she's just picking it up and sort of test it. Does it fit? Test it. Does it fit? Move on. See, like she just did right there. So a lot of what you're trying to do right here is just go fast. You can see that her hands are starting to shake, which is amazing. Getting that burst of adrenaline, knowing that you haven't heard anybody else applaud coming, trying to drive those last pieces into the puzzle, and trying to because often things are split by just seconds. So trying to get there ahead of everybody else, and it can actually be sort of get a little harder right at the end as the adrenaline's kicking in. You're trying to go fast, and you slam home that last piece. Now she's got to find where it is in the puzzle. I wonder if she has an extra piece. Wouldn't that be interesting? Nope, there she goes.
Wow.
Congratulations, Leslie.
Way to go, Leslie.
All right, Leslie.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, fantastic work we're seeing out here.
And that's Chloe that we're seeing the back of right now. Chloe looks like she's getting close also. Back to Jessa. Ooh, yep. Jessa might be our next finisher.
And here on the floor, you can see that as our competitors advance, or as they are nearing the end of their puzzle journey here, we have a crowd assembling or quite near their table to get a closer look. And again, I can't get over the support and the camaraderie here that we're seeing at the Portland Jigsaw Masters. This community really is something else.
Wow, this is so interesting. I think this is Allie's puzzle, and look at that exact same area that, Jessa finished.
We have
Congrats,
Jessa.
Jessa.
All
Way
right.
to
And
go.
if we can get back to Allie, she's just about done there as well.
On
So you're
the
saying
fence.
on the
She's
fence.
finishing with the exact same section that Andrea finished with.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love her
I
necklace.
think Leslie we saw finishing with the sky, but this
Right.
puzzle, fence is one of those F's. Yeah.
Oh, we're losing you a little bit there, Evie. Looks like she may
And
have that
timer.
one on
She's
the
got to get the
floor.
Oh,
timer. Oh, and the piece. There was a piece on the floor.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and you can see that like she's working hard there. She's,
intensity.
She's breathing hard. It can be a lot of physical work to drive those, especially near the end, as you're just kind of going as fast as you can.
And again, I can only imagine the adrenaline pumping through their veins while I'm sitting here doing quite literally nothing and feeling the same type of emotions.
Well,
Yeah.
Allie came all the way from Hawaii for this event.
Wow. How
Is that where she's
fantastic.
from, or does she just happen to be coming
She's
from there?
lived there for, I think, a little over a
Okay.
decade now. She's originally from, I think, the middle of the country somewhere.
All right, and we're back to Chloe over here.
Oh, another fence finisher.
Yeah.
That seems to be our section, right?
Yeah, so interesting. That
Here we go. Where's the
same
timer?
exact section. Oh, another piece on the floor.
A piece on the floor, do you think?
Yes.
Does she need to bang on the table? How does this work?
Well, so she's looking for a piece. If you can't find the piece, usually it's about 10-second penalty if you don't have the piece.
Oh, there it is.
Looks like she found
She
it.
found it.
Occasionally, there's a manufacturer defect where there are pieces legit not in there. On very rare occasions, we've seen really large pieces, large sections missing, like 10 pieces missing, but it's pretty rare.
Oh, we have Linda over here from Cobble Hill taking a picture of Jessa with her beautiful, beautiful assembled puzzle. I love that they just flop down like that. You can lift up the full puzzle.
Yeah, you can depends on the puzzle, but you can often pick it up by the corner. It's a fun thing that people try.
Oh, we have another finisher.
Is that Nicole?
I think that's right. I was hoping to get a shot of the name tag, but it didn't happen.
Way to go, Nicole.
But I think that is right. Yeah, Nicole.
How many is that now? We've got about 5 or 6 competitors that have finished.
Yeah, that's right. And again, shout out to the AV department here, the production
Oh, yes.
team. They're very responsive. So if we ask for something, they will make their best attempt at making that happen. So love them. They make this job all the easier and all the more fun.
Nikita chimed in on the chat saying it's nail biting time, and I'd have to agree with you, Nikita.
Yeah, so we'll start to see a lot of people finishing just back to back to back.
Sure.
Yeah. Just looking out of the floor, I'm trying to get a sense of where we are, and I think we have a good number of people who are nearing the finish. A fair amount of the field still has a lot of stuff, a lot of pieces to go yet. So we're in for some more puzzling for a while.
How I was even hired for this event is puzzling to me as well. But you know what? We're here.
Helps to know a person.
Yes, it does. And that is me exercising my puzzle Nepo Baby privilege. If you missed it, my uncle Lane owns the Portland Puzzle Company, the company that is sponsoring and putting on this beautiful event here at Avenue Portland, the Portland Jigsaw Masters.
Now, the person we're looking at here has a lot of the fence already done. It looked like they're more working towards the sky as we saw earlier.
Yeah, I think this is Caroline Orsi. I think I saw the name tag.
Yep.
Really keeping up speed too, even though we're almost an hour in.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that it is an intense burst of energy to do it
Quite slowly.
fast. it is even more challenging if you're going to continue to do it after an hour. Like putting that level of intensity into an hour or more can be really draining. And that's one of the things that I think that people need to, like, they need to get used to doing is like it's great to be intense. It's great to be intense in short bursts, but how do you carry that through an hour or more?
Sure. We have our Tisley who
Oh, and
commented.
is this Cosmo game?
This is Cosmo, yeah.
Wow, Cosmo's coming in.
Cosmo's got that fence area though.
And is
We have
that a
our-
cheering section in the back?
Yeah, we've got a cheering section. Like I said, we have a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
spectators here showing just relentless support for these competitors. I'm very touched to see the camaraderie out here today and everyone showing up for their people.
It looks like some of the top finishers are over in a huddle, sort of debriefing on the puzzle.
And we have here in the chat that a detail that Caroline is actually going to Worlds.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, I'm also going to Worlds, but not on the back of my performance ability, but more on the I want to have the experience.
Okay.
We're going to go to Worlds. Worlds is in Spain in September.
Well, Worlds will be lucky to have you, Rob.
I'm sure that's true. I'm sure they
Yes.
think that's true.
Yes, definitely. Do you have
Yeah,
a
in the
personal
background
record?
there, I think that those four are the girls in STEMP, from what I can tell.
Yes. Very
Yeah.
nice.
So that's Hannah, and on the right there is Jacob Palabo, author of the graphs that we saw earlier.
makes
And
sense.
then I think that's Caitlin McCluskey on the left. And I don't have it in front of me, and I forget. EB, do you recall who the last person on their team is?
Sky
That's right.
Vanderleest.
Sky Vanderleest. Yeah, so it's the girls in STEM.
I'm glad we get to put a face on the Comic Sans.
Absolutely.
Well, he'll be live and on the live stream later on today if you want to get not just the face but the personality behind it.
And it seems like a lot of friends of theirs are here in the chat saying hi, Jacob and Hannah.
Nice, welcome. They're
Oh.
both extremely delightful people.
Oh, here's our leaderboard. All right.
All right. Oh, and that was Chloe just finished. Looks like Cosmo's on the verge. Looking for that last piece.
Cosmo's looking for a last piece.
Cosmo finished with that fence also.
Yeah.
All right, Cosmo. Very good. Look at that. Smile of pride and joy. Wow.
So we saw the leaderboard there for a second.
Oh, yeah, let's pull that back up.
We can get that back up. So we've got Andrea Highstand at 43-48.
Wow.
Leslie behind her at 49, so it's about 5 minutes back. Jessa, Allie, Chloe, and Nicole that we've seen so far. There's a fairly, aside from Jessa and Allie, I guess, there's a fair amount of space between them. That's not really true. There's a fair amount of space between Andrea and Leslie, though. There's a big gap there.
Sure. But then they're just rattling right off. Wow.
And they don't say yet qualified, but they'll be qualified. We see Caroline just joined the scoreboard. And then for people who aren't familiar, we have a column there that says pieces per minute, PPM. There's a column there that says remaining. It's not filled with anything yet. That will show how many pieces they had left if we get to the very end and they haven't finished their puzzle. But pieces per minute just tells you how many pieces they're putting in the puzzle on average each minute. See, Andrea was putting in 11 pieces every minute over the course of that puzzle. So it's a fun exercise to do, is to go and try and actually put together 11 pieces of a puzzle in a minute.
Interesting.
You start to get a real sense of the amount of pace that they need to keep up in order to keep this moving.
It really is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, it's well, it is a sprint for sure.
It's both.
Yeah, there are puzzle marathons. And they go for 10, 12, 14, even 24 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
And where are those held typically?
They're held around the world. EB, did you go to the one in California?
I did. My team won.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. It was fun. I attribute it not to my puzzling skill, but my sleep scheduling.
Sure. I'm sure you had to get strategic.
There was definitely some strategy involved.
Wow. Okay, we have Tara here coming in on that fence section,
Yep.
just like our other competitors.
Tara Griffiths, the local puzzler, local competitor, went to
Local to
nationals this
Portland.
last year. Yep.
There we go.
She
All
she's
right, Tara.
she does the there are two different weekly competitions here in Portland. One is in individuals and pairs, and one is in teams. And so she is a regular on the individuals and pairs circuit.
Shout out once again to our sponsors, Portland Puzzle Company and Cobble Hill. We're looking at Cobble Hill puzzles being assembled here today, and from what I understand, a pretty unconventional puzzle cut we're hearing from.
So this is a random puzzle cut, which means that it's not laid out in a standard grid format. As
Sure.
we see Isa here coming to the end of their puzzle, I think. And so not everybody loves a random cut because you get used to pieces being a particular shape and going in a particular way. I personally enjoy a random cut because it adds another way
Extra
to solve the
challenge.
problem. To me, it's less hard, but again, like I am a terrible puzzler, so that's not necessarily saying much.
Oh,
But it's
don't
less
say
hard
that, Rob.
because you have specific pieces that you know are going to go to specific places. Like once you see where a shape is, you know that there's a specific piece that's going to go there, and it's a lot more obvious for people who need it to be more obvious.
Issa is from Connecticut.
This is from
So
Connecticut. Very nice.
I've gotten to puzzle with them at a Barnes and Noble competition once. I'll
How
be seeing
fun.
them at Connecticut States in a few weeks.
Wow, Connecticut States.
Yeah, there are increasingly state-level competitions. There are definitely state competitions through speedpuzzling.com, which is a different organization that provides mostly virtual competitions, but is bringing state-level competitions to the states. On top of that, states are starting to create their own jigsaw puzzle associations, where they host competitions through that. So, like I said, the sport of jigsaw puzzling is growing
Sure.
and becoming more systematized in terms of competitions and having more available competitions and how different things are run. Yeah, so this is the challenge. Is that, like, Issa's trying to figure out how to get these last pieces in, and if you don't have the obvious eye for that, then it's a matter of just trying things moving.
Yeah, that
Nearing the
fence.
fence.
Wow. It's amazing how
That's
many
the
of our
winning area.
puzzlers are ending with that fence.
Another missing
Also,
piece.
how many are dropping pieces?
Here we
Yeah,
go.
that one's I find a little
Wow.
surprising. Nice job,
Way to
Issa.
go, Issa.
Ah, yeah,
All right,
there's Issa's
Issa.
mascot.
With their emotional support plushie.
Yeah, I think that was that name tag for the little plushie? I
The
think it was.
plushie is the motivation here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters. Who knew?
Yeah.
Well, now I know.
And I saw Becca in the background there, Becca
Yeah.
Taylor.
Yep.
Is
Becca's
that
here.
right?
Yep.
Was Becca supposed to be puzzling in this round?
Becca is puzzling in the pairs and the teams versions, but she's not puzzling in the
Wow, we
individual.
have another finisher right here in front of us.
Yeah, Brianna.
Way to go, Brianna. Once again, shout out to our fabulous volunteers here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters, supporting our competitors, making sure we've recorded all the accurate information. And speaking of information, are these results going to be posted anywhere, Rob? Do we know if they're going to be out in the world for our spectators to view?
That is a really great question. Usually they are posted, but I actually am not familiar with.
Okay, we can consult with Andrew Weatherly of the Portland Puzzle Company. He should be able to get us that information. Oh, and the name of Issa's plushie is Owlbert. Owlbert. That's spelled owl as in hoot hoot, Bert. Could we get the scorecard back up? That would be so fantastic for our viewers at home once we see that one is finished. Wow. And who do we have here? Sue.
Sue
Way to go,
Kroger?
Sue.
Yeah. Nice job. She brought tape. I've seen this a few times. I'd be interested, E.B., in your perspective on this. Where I've seen people bring tape for posters. Is that something that you do regularly?
I don't. Maybe I'll have to start.
Yeah, it's only something I've seen in the last few months where folks have like taped ready so that they can take a poster and put it on the box.
Interesting.
So do they stand up the box? I missed it. Do they stand
Yeah.
up the box, like box in the box, like this, and then tape the poster over the box image?
That's 100%. And I'm looking at Caroline's table, actually. It was off to the right of us, and it's just sitting there. You know, she finished a little while ago, and it has that same setup where the box is just, you would put the box in a holder like you'd normally put the box in the holder, and then there's the poster over the top of it. I can't tell. I'm going to guess that I can't tell if it's taped, but it looks taped.
So we have a competitor here finishing with the sky, which is not what we've seen so far. It's usually been one of those fence sections. Let's see.
Yep, driving it down towards the end, getting those last pieces in. For me, this is always my favorite part of puzzling is like when you just kind of get those last ones in. It can be frustrating because often the last ones are fairly obvious. You're just kind of bringing together the last few things you have hanging out. But sometimes it's a matter of like the last ones are the hardest ones. And so you want to be done, but you're not done. Leah Campbell, nice job.
And that's the way we like it here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters.
Wonder if we can get some of the finishers up here to have a conversation.
Oh, that would be so fantastic.
It looks like Lane.
Lane Weatherly
go grab
of
one.
the Portland Puzzle Company is going to go out and find us some of our competitors to interview after their big finish.
Meanwhile, I love the way that this person is standing.
Strategy.
They've got themselves they've got a solid foundation in which they can move. Can't quite see who that is. My eyes are just not good enough to pick that out.
Prelim
looks like
winner
Nora.
joining us now.
So many mics.
Hello and welcome, Andrea.
Hello, thank you.
Hi, my name is Carly. I'm sure you know Rob.
Yeah,
Hi, Andrea.
I think I've
Hi,
met him once.
Andrea.
Good. You want to try the headphones, or are you able to hear us okay?
Go
Either
for the headphones.
Yeah.
Go for the headphones. Let's make it official.
Yeah, and that way you'll be able to hear E.B. Karen, who's also on with us.
Yes, yes.
Congratulations, Andrea.
Thank you.
So, Andrea, we were watching you. You were our first finisher here in the prelim rounds. How does it feel?
Rather crazy because I've never really won with other black belts around. So
Congratulations.
And what was it that spoke to you about this particular puzzle?
I don't know. I like dogs, and I know quite a few different dogs, and then flowers. So I was able to pick out and place a lot of them as I was sorting through. So.
Do you find that fur or foliage is challenging for you?
Probably bigger sections of fur are more challenging, but they were all small, cute little doggies, so it was easier to keep them together.
And we've noticed a couple of our competitors, yourself included, finished with that fence section. Could you maybe speak a little bit about why that might be happening over and over here as we watch other competitors finish?
There's just not a lot of details to it, so it's just kind of a lot of white with just the little bits of flower over top of it or behind it, so it was easier to have it boxed in and then fill in the rest, so.
Understood. See, we have another fence finisher here.
Yep.
So, Andrea, how long have you been puzzling for? When did you pick up this passion?
I've been puzzling as long as I can remember. I found out about speed puzzling after the 2022 Nationals. So
Okay.
then I had a month of research and got right into it. So
All right. And so we have another finisher here on the screen. And so, Andrea, it was always just regular pace puzzling until speed puzzling sort of took over, it sounds like.
yeah, I don't get a lot of casual puzzles in because I'm trying to practice them.
And do you have a particular venue that you prefer to practice in? We had some spectators here comment that they practice in IKEA because they have really nice tables, or some practice in Starbucks because there's stimulation. What's your technique?
I just mostly puzzle in my puzzle room because.
Oh, you have a puzzle room.
Yes.
Could you please describe the puzzle room in great detail?
Well, it's the majority of our finished basement is my puzzle room. I
Okay.
have a full-size dining table for doing my puzzles, and I've got like 5 floor-to-ceiling shelves that are mostly filled with puzzles. So.
Wow. And of all the puzzles that you own, Andrea, is there one that just takes the cake? That's your favorite, absolute best puzzle that you own?
I don't know. I have a lot of favorites. I always, before speed puzzling, did a lot of Charles Wysocki puzzles because my
Okay.
family would do those with me. So
Okay.
it's fun. So there's one that I did like repeatedly growing up. So that's like, it has a lot of extra memories with it. So it's
Totally.
special.
It's sentimental for
Yeah.
you.
So
So we have a bunch of Andrea fans here in the chat extending their congratulations.
yay! Thank you.
Fabulous. Do you have another message for your fans? Any sort of words of advice maybe to somebody that's looking to get into speed puzzling?
It's super fun, so you should try it.
Super fun, so you should try it. You heard it here first at the Portland Jigsaw Masters.
Andrew, do you feel a lot of stress these days when you're competing, or is it still super fun, or is it both?
I mean, I'm a very competitive person, so I usually like try to push myself, but I just enjoy it all. Like, it's just super fun. So,
And do you feel a certain difference in your adrenaline rush when you're nearing the end of a puzzle versus when you're first getting started?
yeah, definitely. Just like trying not
ramps
to
up.
shake excessively.
Sure, sure. And remind me, was there a puzzle piece that was you were trying to find in the end? There was, I think, maybe one last lingering piece, or did you just went right in and got it done?
I think they were all right there.
Okay,
on the table
perfect,
next to it, so,
fabulous.
yeah.
We've seen a surprising number of people who have had to go to the floor to find
Right.
their last pieces.
It happens.
It does.
Wow. And so,
Andrea,
ahead, Evie.
you were so organized with your puzzle. Like looking at your table, it was beautiful.
I think.
Is that something that you've worked on kind of, or you just kind of had the ability to do it today because you got more extra room than usual?
I mean, with the slightly larger Cobble Hill, the extra space is definitely awesome for that. Practiced a few last night on tiny tables. That was a challenge. But yeah, I usually try to keep my frame fairly open and only with like placed pieces inside the frame. So to some extent.
So for a day like this, obviously lots of anticipation leading up to the Portland Jigsaw Masters. Do you have any sort of rituals that you do the morning of the big competition or the big day, or do you eat a particular breakfast? Anything you do special to prepare for an event like this?
No, not really. Just hanging out with my puzzle friends.
Hang out with your puzzle friends. That's all you got to do to feel ready, get in the zone, get in the mindset of knocking it out and taking prelims for yourself. Way to go, Andrea.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
having
much.
me.
Congratulations.
of
We'll look
course.
forward to seeing more of you later.
Okay, doke. Thanks.
Yes, way to rock it.
Bye.
And I think I'm going to also say goodbye now too, but thank you so much for having me. And I've had so much fun watching all of this with you.
That's awesome. Thank you for lending your expertise and your time to
Yes,
us.
absolutely.
It's been great having you. Thanks, EB.
Bye, B.
Bye. Nice to meet you, Carly.
Bye-bye. Fantastic. I have to say, the expertise from EB was something else. Do we know how long EB's been puzzling for?
I don't know off the top of my head.
probably
That's the kind of
should
thing
have asked.
EB would know.
Yeah, I missed
She would
that
know
one,
that
though.
about everybody is the thing.
I'll find out another time. I'm sure we'll become social media friends. Speaking of which, I'm wondering if there's on TikTok, for example, there's certain communities that really lean into that. Is there a puzzle talk community yet? Do we know?
I'm not sure about TikTok. I wouldn't be surprised. I've definitely seen some jigsaw puzzle TikToks. The jigsaw
Okay.
puzzle community tends to be on Instagram.
Okay.
So definitely that's where you can find them. But I'm sure the folks in the chat would be happy to guide you towards some TikTok puzzle folks.
Yeah, Joyce Puzzles says, yes, hashtag Puzzle Talk. So I'll make sure to hashtag Puzzle Talk on any talks I post about the Portland Jigsaw Masters. Twitch and Instagram. A lot of puzzlers on Twitch, it seems.
That's right. Yeah, you can watch a lot of puzzlers stream. Kyle Carlson, for example, a nationally ranked, I guess you would say, puzzler, often doing a puzzle on Instagram, or sorry, on Twitch. I know that Issa talks about hanging out with communities on Twitch while watching people do puzzles. So it's not something that I've gotten into personally, but I do know that there's a fairly robust community there and growing.
Fantastic. And I'm getting this live stream link out to all my friends and family. Everybody is very fascinated by this event, especially for those that aren't that familiar with speed puzzling or in the puzzling community. It seems that it's sort of spreading like wildfire. Everybody is catching on, understanding this is a cultural phenomenon. Speed puzzling, it's very early in the speed puzzling expansion, I would argue.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those things that grows, like doubles every year, and at some point you're like, it's got to stop, and it just hasn't so far.
But why does it got to stop, Rob?
I mean, there's only so many people in the world. So once you get past like a few billion,
Right.
then you're sort of out of time. Like,
Right.
Yeah. I got a note here that just as a reminder that we were talking about who advances.
Sure.
And so out of the individual rounds, the top 16 advance out of each prelim, and then 2 wild cards fill out the total of 50. So we'll have 16 in this round, 16 in the next round, and 16 in the final round. That'll give us 48, and then they'll pick the top 2 times out of all of the rounds
Wow.
to move on.
All right, so maybe we get that scorecard back up so we could see, because we've got to be nearing 16 competitors
I think we're well
at this
past that.
point.
actually.
Oh, we're past it.
Yeah.
Got it. So obviously, I was just so taken by my interview with Andrea, I totally missed that detail. So we do have our selects for the next round. Could we see that scorecard one more time?
In the meantime, we're seeing another person finish, another
plushie in the
Yep.
house.
There we go. Thank you.
Oh,
we're at 15.
that would be our 16th.
Well, my bad. I thought I had seen more people on the list.
Wow. To see how quickly they're all finishing, basically 1 minute right after the other, some within the same minute. Once Leslie got us moving.
We got another finisher right there. Yeah, it's interesting that if you think about the world of competitive jigsaw puzzling, like if you had thought about it at all, you'd be like, oh, it's a bunch of old ladies who are doing some competitions and that they'd finish, in a few hours. It's amazing how often it comes down to a second or two. The people are moving so fast and people are so well skilled that every second really does matter. So when you find yourself with a part of the puzzle where you're like, this is not my favorite part of the puzzle.
Sure.
You need to find a way to kind of push through that and keep the momentum going.
Yep.
Because if you don't, somebody else may come in behind you and pass you up because people are just that skilled.
And Andrea, our winner of the first prelim round, or our competitor who came in first place, was mentioning that when she gets to the end of her puzzle, her hands might start to shake and her adrenaline starts pumping. So I can't even imagine how this feels. I do think, Rob, I'm going to partake in some of our speed rounds later on, because I'd like to try my own hand at puzzling at this point.
Yeah, we'll get you a couple of the world-class people here to compete against, and then maybe myself as
Oh,
as
is that a
pace car.
challenge, Rob?
No, it is certainly not a challenge.
Wow.
I wouldn't be surprised if you beat the heck out of me.
Oh, my.
But that we can give it a shot. Let's see how it works.
Wow.
Now we got somebody here using a little piece of cardboard here, as EB was talking about before. It's great to have those things especially if you're practiced at using it, because that allows you to move things in and out and basically discard a whole bunch of
Sure.
pieces of the puzzle. Because often what you're trying to do is reduce the amount of things you're looking at any given time.
Right.
So if you have a bunch of stuff that you're not going to deal with right away, it's nice to be able to get it off the playing field.
Yep.
And trays are great because
Yep.
when you're ready, you can just pick up the whole thing and put it down. And as much as I'm not a fan of putting pieces directly on top of a puzzle, you can put a tray on the part of the puzzle that you're done with, and you don't have to worry about losing track of the fact that there are pieces on top of your puzzle, and it makes it nice and easy, nice nearby,
Sure.
where you're doing all of your piece placement, so you don't have to move around a lot as well. Now, in these sort of sprint rounds, these 500 piece or so, you see these used a lot less because usually you're just sort of all out placing pieces all the time.
Sure.
But when it comes to bigger rounds, we're doing like 1,000 piece for the teams here, but in nationals and worlds, you get to 2,000, 2,500 piece puzzles.
Okay.
And you see these kinds of things come out a lot more for organizational purposes.
I can only imagine. I mean, that is a lot of pieces.
There's a lot of pieces.
I wonder if we could get Lane Weatherly from the Portland Puzzle Company to join us for an interview. How does that sound?
We'll have to see if we can find him.
Oh, look, he's right here. Why don't you grab some headphones, Lane Weatherly? For those of you watching at home, this is Uncle Lane to me. I am a puzzle Nepo baby. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, and thank you for having me. And Rob, I'm sure is grateful for this
Absolutely.
moment in time as well. So Lane, I understand you are the owner of the Portland Puzzle Company. How did the Portland Puzzle Company even come to be?
Well, I'm one of the owners. I'm an owner with my son, Andrew. Long story, but essentially, the quick version is that we started a beer coaster printing company back late 2018-19, and decided what better place to put a coaster printing company than in Portland, Oregon.
Sure.
So we started the company, and everything was going very well until something happened in the world that kind of shut everything down.
I believe that was around 2020, if I'm not mistaken.
Could have been, yes.
Sure.
I think. You mean like March 8th, 2020?
Yes, my mom's birthday.
Yes.
And you know this because that's your sister.
It is my sister. And so when that started, it definitely put a hurt on our coaster business. And I had an individual, Nellie Pavlinko. I want to make sure I do a shout out to her. She ran a small wallpaper business in the front of our shop.
Okay.
And she made the suggestion. She said, with this COVID going on, puzzles are really hot right now.
Puzzles are hot right now.
And I like, well, okay, I'll think about it.
Nellie knew.
And Nellie knew.
Nellie knew.
Nellie knew. So she came, and the next morning we came back and we said, we might try this. And so we did, and I guess the rest is kind of history.
Wow. What a fantastic story. And so it really is a new company, the Portland Puzzle Company.
Yeah, we haven't been around a long time. We've learned a lot over the last 5 years or so, and I'm sure there's a lot we still have to learn. But it's to manufacture puzzles in the United States there are a number of good manufacturers here, but for the most part, they are made in China and Asia. So we are excited to be an American-made manufacturer.
Fantastic. And can you speak a little bit to the puzzles that are available, maybe from this competition, or the different types of puzzles that the Portland Puzzle Company produces?
Yeah, a lot of the puzzles that we do are from artists that are small artists. We don't really manufacture a lot of large runs. We do smaller runs, which are, maybe 50 or 100 puzzles to local artists or a photographer. And essentially, we wholesale to them, so they have the opportunity to go to a festival or whatever and sell their puzzles. And it helps. It allows them to be able to provide their art out to a group that sometimes may have a difficulty trying to buy an $800 puzzle, a picture that would go on their wall in their house. So yeah, there's
Fun
that.
keepsake.
Yeah, we do that, and we also offer the ability to put it on our website, and for those small artists to get a royalty. So yes, it's a win-win-win for everybody.
We do have a spectator calling you Puzzle Daddy in our comments.
Is that Sean?
No, not Sean. It's a secret
Okay.
admirer.
That's fine. We had a. What's funny about that is
We have a celebration here on the floor.
we had
Great.
someone at our local speed puzzling contest that we normally put on every Tuesday. He referred to himself last week as Puzzle Daddy. So I
Puzzle
wanted to
Daddy.
give a shout out to Sean if he's.
Shout out to
I
Sean,
know.
the
I know
Puzzle
he's
Daddy.
going to be. He is going to be on this in the tournament here. I guess he's in a later prelim, but yeah.
Fantastic. So to clear everything up, the Portland Puzzle Company, you guys produce custom puzzles. The quantities vary from 50 to 100. You know, if you're a local artist, if you're a photographer, if you are a speed puzzler who wants to put your own face on a puzzle for a Christmas Hanukkah gift for your family, you know who to contact. It's the Portland Puzzle Company.
Absolutely. We
Wow.
appreciate the shout out.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for putting on this beautiful event, and thank you to my Uncle Lane for hiring me to sit here and comment on something I know nothing about. But you know what?
Nothing like nepotism.
Nothing like nepotism, and I have learned so much, even just in this first prelim round. So for that, I thank you, Uncle Lane.
You're more than welcome. Thank you for coming all the way from New York City.
Yes.
And special thanks to Rob, because Rob does a phenomenal job.
Yes, he sure does. Shout out to Rob.
The quiet person this entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Lane.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much, Mr. Uncle Lane.
Just it's news from the field. As we can see, the stats up here are the finishing places. We have
Yep.
Rachel Shields, again, my Paris partner and partner in
Aw.
life, finishing at 25th. So
Go Rachel.
Go her. And we are bringing, as part of the things we're trying out here, we're bringing in other voices from outside the competition who
Fantastic.
have some perspective on the jigsaw puzzling world. And I believe we have Hannah on the line with us. Hannah, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can hear you just fine, Hannah. It's good to see you.
Hello, it's good to see you too.
Hannah,
Hi,
would you
Hannah.
do me a favor and pronounce your last name? Because I didn't want to say it wrong.
So it's pronounced Beavis, but a lot of
Beavis.
people guess Bevis first, but it is Beavis.
I was 100% going to guess wrong, so I appreciate that. So when I asked a few weeks ago if anybody would be interested in joining me on the live stream for some part of it, you raised your hand, which I deeply appreciate. So thanks for joining us. You offered up a whole plethora of topics that you thought we could chat about. And I'm really interested in the first one that you started with, which was talking about being a slower speed puzzler. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're thinking there?
I would love that. Rob, I feel like you and I are more kindred spirits. I'm an avid listener of Peace Talks, and I
Wow.
always appreciate when you talk about slower speed puzzlers, because I feel like we talk a lot about, you know, the Andrea Pengs and the Evie Karens and the faster puzzlers in the world. But there are a lot of people who are speed puzzling who are not necessarily going to finish a puzzle in under an hour. And so I have tried very hard. I'm a competitive person. I ran through high school and most of college, or part of college. And I'm a pretty competitive person, but I have tried very hard to be okay with being mediocre in speed.
Sure.
Me too. I've had exactly that. Yeah, I started off as, especially early on in the jigsaw puzzling time, I started off as being very excited that this is an accessible activity that I could get into and maybe do well, especially with some learning and some practice. And then I found out some people are really good.
Yeah. So, you know, as much as I feel that I would want to get into the community and really go for it, I myself do feel that I'll probably be a mediocre speed puzzler. But, you know, a girl can dream. Maybe I'll be just semi-mediocre.
So Hannah, was that a process or journey for you, or were you just like, oh, okay, now I have a realization about where I sit?
There was a hope at the beginning, because you hear so many of the top speed puzzlers say, oh, well, when I started out, I was slow too, and now I can do a 500-piece puzzle in 40 minutes. And I was like,
Sure.
maybe that will
there's
be
hope.
me. It's not me.
And how long
there
have you
was a
been
little-
puzzling?
I started speed puzzling it would have been about almost 2 years ago. I think I want to say like November of 2023. But I
Okay.
think I really got into it last year. I've started doing it much more often. I bought my own table for puzzling specifically. I've got probably close to 100 puzzles that I swap out in puzzle swaps and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. And I love your earrings. I have to comment on those. Of course, we love the puzzle fashion today. I myself actually have a mystery puzzle from the Portland Puzzle Company here in my acrylic bag. I couldn't fit all 250 pieces here, but we do have a bit in here. And I love the way that they sound as well.
Yeah, that's great. These are actually 2 extra pieces that I had from a puzzle of mine that my roommate made into earrings for me. So
That
they were,
is
it
so
was,
thoughtful.
yeah, it was very, it was good. It was very fortuitous.
Very thoughtful gift. Love that, Hannah. So does your roommate puzzle as well?
I have sort of dragged them into puzzling with me.
Sure.
They are not into speed puzzling, but they are a very good sport. And so if we need like an extra person for a team event, they will often come with me. But I've sort of gotten to the point where I'm starting to make more puzzle friends
Right.
who are faster than them. And they're like, you may go and speed puzzle with the faster speed puzzlers. So
Sure.
but
Well,
they
and
enjoy it.
it seems, Hannah, that we have a few puzzlers here in the chat that are claiming that they are slow speed puzzlers, and they feel very seen.
Good. We should be seen. I need the
Yes.
slow speed puzzlers to be louder on social media.
And on Puzzle Talk. Yeah, let's get
On-
the slow speed puzzlers on Puzzle Talk.
Yeah, we should cheer the louder the farther into the competitions we get as people finish.
Right.
I do love the sort of the caboose puzzlers, like when you have like somebody at the very end who's just on the cusp of finishing. The crowd gets really excited because we're all like cheering for that person to try and make it across the line, and so often
Sure.
some of the biggest cheers come from the people who are near the end.
Wow.
So Hannah,
Yeah.
you also mentioned about burnout. So tell me a little bit about slow puzzling meets burnout.
I haven't hit burnout yet in puzzling, but I have been so interested. I'm a semi-retired sports journalist, so I worked in sports media for a long time, mostly hockey. And a lot of that was covering women's hockey, which is a sport that does not get a lot of mainstream media coverage. So it's
Sure.
a lot of coverage that sort of has to happen in addition to having a full-time job, sort of a little
Sure.
bit like I imagine speed puzzling reporting and stats. And so that was difficult to keep doing. And so I felt very burnt out. And so I've been very interested as I've gotten into the speed puzzling world, listening to the top puzzlers who do so many puzzles in so short of time. And there's so much pressure put onto them in these very big environments hit a burnout point. And for me, going into speed puzzling in particular, being okay with mediocre, the other thing was making sure that I wanted to make sure that I still enjoyed speed puzzling, because I'm also the sort of person that likes to dive into things head first, do them really hard, really fast, and then like get burnt out. And I did not want that to happen with speed puzzling. So I've been trying to be very intentional about like making sure that I'm doing some puzzles just for fun and not for speed, and trying to make more friends in the community with it, and keeping it as a hobby and not having it feel like a job.
Well, because having fun is the most important thing. And it seems like everybody has a shared passion. You want to keep it positive. You want to support your friends that are maybe even a bit faster, no animosity here in the puzzling community.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
I know that a lot of the elite level puzzlers are increasingly taking the time to just when they build up to an event like Worlds, they plan for the next couple of months off. They're not going to be doing any jigsaw puzzling. I was just talking with Victor Kaspacek from Poland, and he was like, "I'm planning on taking the time off," and I know that other folks have done the same thing. So I think taking a break, especially if it starts, as you're saying, Hannah, if it starts to feel like work, that's probably the right time to step away for a little while.
Well, I just saw that Kristen Tubb, who just won the World Jigsaw Championships this year, and everyone was very excited, is not going to be at Worlds this year. And is
Wow.
for a variety of reasons, it sounds like, not explicitly because of burnout, but I think we've sort of started to see that already, that like there are top puzzlers who are taking, or even not top puzzlers, who take a year off. It's a lot of money, it's a lot of time training, it's a lot of commitment to like go and do something like Worlds or Nationals. And so I think normalizing like taking a year off or taking some time to rest and recover and like not have a where you're in competitive mode all the time. Like,
Sure.
I think we're going to start seeing more of that, and we should.
It's important to rest and restore no matter what it is that you're doing, speed puzzling especially. I can imagine you expel so much energy in preparing for the event, in actually completing the puzzle, in hitting your burnout point in the middle of the puzzle. The endurance really matters.
And
Yeah.
we're seeing folks like Michaela Keener took a year off to sort of step away for a lot of reasons, like you're saying. I think that we're going to see fewer people going to Worlds from the U.S. for a lot of reasons. Some of it has to do with going to the same venue for several years in a row. But I think, Hannah, to your point, we are starting to see that become more normalized. People are just they're puzzling, they're really into the puzzle when they're doing it, but they're going to step away and take a break when they need to.
And I think deciding like what you want to get out of puzzling too. Like if you like to go to the big events like Worlds and you're a competitive enough puzzler where you can maybe place, like maybe going every year is important to you, and that's okay, and that's what you can plan around. But for someone like myself or other slower puzzlers, like I'd love to go once, maybe, but I'm not one of the world's fastest jigsaw puzzlers. I'd go for the experience and then probably not ever go again unless something dramatic changed.
And something I'm noticing here on the floor, so we have a few more competitors still at work, but we do have some of our spectators have jumped in, and they are actually doing a puzzle for fun here on the side. So it's very obvious the passion here in the room. Everybody has a shared love and adoration for the art and the sport of speed puzzling.
Also, just to clarify, for like, again, for the people who are watching who've maybe not like seen speed puzzling before, this is not a slow time for a speed puzzle. Like, I know like a lot of the room has cleared out, but getting a speed puzzle in under like an hour and 40 minutes, an hour and 50 minutes, 2 hours is still putting in a little, I think it's about 4 pieces per minute. So that's not, that's not.
Right. It seems like Andrea was averaging 11 pieces a minute. She was our prelim winner or our first finisher in this round.
Yeah, but it is challenging to compare yourself to the elite people. Like I love the elite people. I love to talk to them. I'm interested in hearing what makes them tick and how they do their things. But we've talked about it in my house anyway. Like you wouldn't go into tennis and assume that you're going to be an elite level tennis player.
No.
And so like you can't compare yourself to that class of people. Like you may discover that if you get into jigsaw puzzling that you're actually really good, but you might find that for any sport, and it's not particularly likely. It's increasingly as we have more people in competitive jigsaw puzzling. So just figuring out where your comfort level is, how you're willing to sit with sort of the pace that you can do, and make sure that you're having a good time, and make sure you're enjoying doing the puzzle. Like that's the key thing. And a lot of the people who are experiencing burnout are talking about trying to reconnect with their joy, right? They don't want to lose that, just like you were saying.
Very important.
I think there was somebody on your podcast, Rob, recently who was talking about, and maybe I'm misremembering, maybe this is from something else. We're talking about they switched from a performance mindset to a different kind of mindset in their puzzling. Does that ring a bell?
Interesting.
It does. That'd be Michaela Keener, although it was also echoed by Kelly Walter a bit. In that Michaela made an explicit change, and I think actually Devin Donaldson, I had an accidental sort of trilogy of people focusing on their mental game, but you're right, Michaela Keener specifically moved from a performance mindset to a growth mindset.
Interesting.
So that she was specifically not trying to conquer the puzzle, but trying to learn as much as she could and do the best job. One of the things I love about the way Kelly Walter talks about doing the puzzles, Kelly Walter was the national champion this year, is that she explained that she's more focused on doing the best execution that she can of the puzzle.
Sure.
And wherever you net out, that's great, right? And so you could do really well in your heart about how you did the puzzle and not place as well, and that's fine.
Whatever happens, happens. It's really about the journey, not the destination, especially here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters. So we have 35 competitors, it seems, that have already completed their puzzles. Oh, 36. We have number 36 on the board. And how many competitors do we have here today in the preliminary round?
I think we had 48 last I looked.
48.
Yeah, we sold out all the rounds except for a couple of the individuals.
Okay.
All right, so Hannah, I want to hear your hot take about jigsaw puzzling in the Olympics.
It's a bad idea and we shouldn't do it. And I will this is a hill I'll die on.
All right, bring it. Give us your best argument on that front.
No to the Olympics.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to give an argument that doesn't have any holes in it. Just for me, as someone who has covered sports, and like this comes into how do we operationally define a sport?
Sure.
But speed puzzling is so fundamentally different than a lot of the other sports that are at the Olympics that are more physical activities. And to be clear, speed puzzling is a sport. It is not an Olympics.
Speed puzzling is a sport. It is not an Olympic sport. You heard it here first.
I just think that if speed puzzling goes into the Olympics, this beautiful community that will already have been created will get a lot of mainstream media attention from people who don't quite get it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Totally.
I'm a little bit afraid about what that will do to the community that has been so lovingly crafted. And the community, isn't perfect, but I think we've created a really nice little, vibe on the internet and in personal competitions. And I am afraid of what that will happen if we bring it to the Olympics. I think Worlds is plenty. I think we get everything that you would get at the Olympics at the World Championships.
I'm going to ask the chat what they think about speed puzzling at the Olympics. But Hannah, that is indeed a hot take. We don't want something to become too commercialized. It loses its charm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Hannah, thank you for joining us. Where are you calling in from? I forget.
I am in Western Massachusetts.
Western Massachusetts. Yeah. And where can people find out more about you if they want to?
I'm on Instagram at hannah.bevis, B-E-V-I-S. That's where I'm most active about puzzling. And I'm hoping to have a Twitch account soon to stream some puzzling, but I need a computer that can handle a little more bandwidth than the one that I have right now. So keep an eye out on Twitch in the next 2 months, and hopefully I'll be there.
Well,
Awesome.
Thank you, Hannah Bevis. That is at hannah.bevis, B-E-V-I-S on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining us, Hannah, and for your unique perspective on this amazing, growing, beautiful sport.
Thanks for having me.
Nice to meet you.
So we'll be bringing you folks like Hannah throughout the competition, all kinds of great people with different perspectives on things. Just like we talked about, often you can focus a lot on the elite folks in jigsaw puzzling.
Sure.
But jigsaw puzzling is a wide community with a lot of different people in it. And so we're going to bring you some other voices to hear different perspectives on it.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So how are we doing on the floor? We've got most of the folks are done at this point. It looks like we've got maybe less than 10 folks still actively doing some work out there. Jason Sprague here. Getting his pieces together, pulling them towards the end. He's also got that fence area on both sides still open, so fence challenging for everybody.
An hour and 42 minutes. Wow, Rob.
Yeah, so this is the thing, is we should give you a puzzle that will keep you, see if your stamina can keep up. Can you do 2 hours worth of focus on a puzzle?
Now I'm not so sure. Although if I have a shot of espresso before, I'm sure that I could withstand the test of the clock.
Yeah, we got the sort of foliage down at the bottom, the grasses.
So if my math is correct, we are at about 102, almost 103 minutes. Because I believe that's how a clock works.
I think you're right.
I think I'm right.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Well, maybe if we get a chance, we can have the next little bit of graphics for the data that we're pulling together. If we've got that at hand, maybe this would be a good time to throw it up there.
Absolutely. I really loved the Comic Sans chart. The statistics we viewed earlier just showed how rapidly speed puzzling is growing as a sport. People clocking their results online and really building their own little micro communities. Oh, here we are. So we've got the growth of speed puzzling via competition data. Rob, would you like to analyze the chart for us?
Would I? Oh my, I live for this kind of thing.
Perfect.
So what we're looking at here is sort of a vision of what we saw earlier, another way of viewing the growth of speed puzzling. So what we were looking at before is just people logging their time. How many people are logging a time for puzzling? So this is actually looking at people who competed. So I have a database of all the competitions that I could ever find and everybody who was involved in them and competed in them. And so the graph on the left is showing you how many people have competed, have done a competition.
Okay.
So that's the count of competitions that all people have done.
Yep.
And then on the right is the number of competitions there have been. And so
Wow.
we're seeing an increase not just in the number of people who compete, which is great, but we're seeing a pretty substantial increase in the number of events that are available to compete in.
And by looking at this chart, this is recent. This is only over the last 3 years.
Yeah, speed puzzling really became a COVID era activity. People were obviously doing competition or doing puzzles before that.
Yep.
Competitions go back into the 80s. Hallmark used to sponsor a competition.
Okay.
There's somebody who doesn't look like they're as excited to be finished as I might be.
Yeah, it seems he may be a little disappointed in the time elapsed, but that's okay. You know what? Everybody's a winner here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters.
Yeah, but as we see, there are a lot more online venues to do competitions. So
Okay.
basically, what happens is they ship you a puzzle in a bag you can't look through, and then everybody hops on a Zoom call and starts at the same time.
Okay, so we have some virtual competitions happening as well.
That's right. So you can do it in the privacy and comfort of your own home, which is nice.
Or in the privacy and comfort of IKEA.
or IKEA,
We have
as long
some
as you get their
puzzlers.
Wi-Fi.
Yep, some puzzlers love to practice and go to IKEA.
That's right. And then there are, as we talked about earlier, an increasing number of state and local competitions that are physically in a place. Like in Portland, we've been through the Portland Puzzle Company. We've been lucky enough to have now for, I think, at least 2 years, ongoing weekly competitions, both at the individual and pairs level and at the teams level.
And we do have a commenter saying that speed puzzling made an appearance on ESPN last year.
That's right. Yes, speed puzzling was on ESPN. I have not actually had a chance to watch that myself, but I've heard varying things about how that one went. I can't tell. Is this person we're looking at have an extra puzzle piece? It seems to be both missing and has an extra one.
Oh,
Okay.
nope. It was.
Put
it was
those two
missing
thoughts
from-
together.
Yep, that's
Oh, they're
correct.
still missing something. Okay.
Oh, it was lingering on the side there.
Yep.
Did he get it all done?
Was it on the puzzle? I
I think it
didn't-
was resting on
Yeah,
the puzzle.
This is a challenge, and I think that elite level puzzlers have this less of a problem. But if you're a like average puzzler or a below average puzzler like myself, those things, like, it can be very easy to get lost where those pieces are because they intentionally blend in with the rest of the puzzle you're doing.
Totally.
So if you're going to have something that if you're going to want to put it on top of the puzzle, then it's great to have something like a tray or a piece of paper or something so that you can not get confused by
Not
the fact.
make that mistake. Yeah.
Yeah, because we've seen it
Totally.
happen before. I was watching the European Championship a couple of weeks back, and there are some people who are just like, they have pieces on top of their puzzle a lot, but they're best in class in the world, so I can't give them a lot of grief for that.
Absolutely.
But it just for me, I'm always like, but at some point you may struggle to find that piece, but they're elite for a reason.
As far as I can see, we have about 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 7 to 8 to 9 competitors still on the floor here, working away. I'm going to go live, as a matter of fact, on my own. Let's get Puzzle Talk in the conversation.
Looks like Richard Lung here is coming close to the end. He's working on those same fence parts.
Portland Jigsaw Masters. Who knew?
Yeah, and then we got as people peel away, they're peeling off and chatting with other people in the community.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the great things about jigsaw puzzling is that people are here as much for the community as they are the competition. So they're often looking to just hang out with people. I know that some folks had an epiphany at some point that there are other people who have a passion for this thing that they also have a passion for.
Absolutely.
And finding that there is a group of people that you can go talk to who have the same passion that you thought nobody else cared about was super enlightening, right? It's like,
Yep.
Okay, well, I'm just going to go here so I can hang out.
And that's exactly why people travel for the Portland Jigsaw Masters. We have Spokane, Washington. Spokane's Washington's own Karen came to join us. I met her last night at the function, and she was saying that she didn't have any in the Spokane area. There weren't any jigsaw meetups. So she expanded the search and said, okay, geographically, where else could I go to find my people, my puzzle people? And that led her here today to the Portland Jigsaw Masters. So a lot of people who signed up spontaneously as well for this once a year event.
Yeah, this is where virtual puzzling is very helpful, is that if you don't have a puzzling competition in your area, it's great to be able to get some experience with that. And they're starting up all over the place. So there's one for Canada that just, Canada has its own that's been going on, but there's many in Europe these days. There's the Euro Jigsaw Jam, which is the sort of premier one in Europe, but countries
fun.
have country-specific ones for virtual competitions. So, if you can't drive to a place and you can't have it shipped from the U.S. competitions, there may be a virtual competition that covers your area.
So be sure to be on the lookout for that. If you're looking for your puzzle people in your region, be sure to look up, what would be the Google search for that?
I think virtual jigsaw puzzle competition.
Virtual jigsaw puzzle competition.
Yeah,
Search.
you're probably going to get a lot of websites for doing virtual puzzles. There's Tammy McLeod in her jigsaw address.
Tammy McLeod coming through with the fashion here today at the Portland Jigsaw Masters. Tammy, the Guinness World Record holder for a puzzle record of sorts.
Yeah, I watched the video of that, and it's amusing because it was during COVID.
Okay.
And so you have to have, for at least some Guinness Book events, you have to have somebody witnessing that.
Right.
And so Tammy, if I remember correctly, was sort of in the middle of a yard outside, and then there was like a long ways away, an observer from the Guinness Book just sort of watching from a distance. So the whole thing had a sort of surreal look to it.
Very interesting. Oh, we have Lane Weatherly here.
Okay, keep puzzling. Don't stop. We got about 8 or 9 minutes to go. Just so everybody knows, and I failed to tell you before, was the fact that when you get to the end, any clusters of 3 or more count as put together. So, in other words, 2 or less, we're going to count against your total and subtract it from the 500. So if you get a chance to put 3, get 3 together, that counts as put together. So just so you know. We're going to stop at 2 hours, so we got about another 8 minutes to go, so keep puzzling.
8 minutes left on this round.
And it's a good point that he brings up, is that not everybody's going to make it in the time allotted.
Sure.
Again, that's usually me.
Yep.
And so we don't stop there. We keep a count of how many pieces you have placed.
Right.
And then the people will earn the next positions by how few pieces they have. And as Lane said, generally speaking, in most competitions, you're looking for 3 pieces together counts as assembled.
Sure.
So you don't have to include those. I think in Worlds this year, it may be 2. So it's at least not universal that it's 3 everywhere, but 3 is pretty much the standard.
Understood. And it's important to note, in case you're just starting to join us for our live stream, that even if you are finishing the puzzle in, less than 2 hours, or you're getting close to that 2-hour mark, that's still very impressive. Think about it. These competitors have been at it for almost 2 hours. That has to be exhausting to some extent.
Yeah, and if you think about the fact that a lot of people's experience with jigsaw puzzling is having it out for a weekend or a week,
right?
Then we're looking at a very collapsed amount of time to try to push something through here. Oh yeah, I remember this gentleman from last year, I believe, in his
The Steelers jersey?
Steelers jersey, yeah.
I haven't taken these headphones off in 2 hours, Rob, but from what I can hear, there's a lot of great energy in the room. The music is super fun. And from what I understand, the Portland Jigsaw Masters is one of the most fun competitions, from what I've been told.
That is true. There's a lot of jigsaw puzzle competitions that are very serious and quiet. And that's great. That helps people focus, and especially at the elite level, like you want to have circumstances that are the same from competition to competition. But it's nice to have the occasional sort of different sort of competition where, like here, they're lean a little more into the fun. They want it. There's music playing.
Yep.
People are having a good time. There's food.
I believe they're serving hot dogs and such.
Yeah, we have historically had several different cart vendors
Okay.
around. So the Portland Jigsaw Masters aims to be a good time and usually pulls it off.
We do have a lot of artists here selling their own puzzles. A lot of beautiful booths set up here today. Lots of art, very inspiring. And once again, if you're an artist out there, or you just simply love to puzzle, you can contact the Portland Puzzle Company for your custom puzzles.
Yeah, so this person here, name is just not quite on the screen, is working through that, the back of the pickup truck, getting the dogs and flowers kind of all in place.
Right.
Catherine, working through the fur and the flora.
The fur and the flora.
Yeah, the fur and the flowers, I guess, is
Yep.
some of the Fs.
Yep. And
Both
flags.
flags, both challenging, and in this case, they are things that you can more readily pick out. So they
Sure.
give you some opportunities to bring those parts together. Whereas something like the sky, you have people who are experts in sky.
Right.
You'll find that actually there are people who have expertises in various parts of a puzzle or various kinds of puzzles.
Oh, very interesting.
My wife, for example, is a sky specialist. That is her favorite. If you see a sky, she will do a sky.
Okay.
And I know there are lots of other people who are sky specialists out there, sky, water, gradients. And so if you're a sky person, you may want to go off and sort of tackle that first. But if you're not a sky person or gradients person, then having a lot of different things that you can go look for textures or patterns that you can bring in that's sort of where I live, is textures, patterns, and
Right.
piece shapes.
So you would say the sky's the limit.
The sky is above the limit for me.
Sure,
yes.
sure. Absolutely. All right, so we are nearing in on the 2-hour mark. We've got about 3 minutes and some change left, because I believe that is how clocks work. Approximately 3.5 minutes remain. 3.5 minutes remain.
And what you're seeing here is that I believe we're looking at the girls in STEM team, 3 out of 4 of them anyway, doing some occasional puzzling after the fact. This is really common, is that people will finish a puzzle and then roll right into another puzzle, that isn't related to the competition. I know that I was talking to somebody a while back, I think it was like Chiara Del Antonio,
Right.
who was talking about going to a marathon where she maybe spent, I think it was a shorter marathon, I'm going to say like 14 hours
Okay.
puzzling. And when she drove back to wherever she was staying, and her first thought is, I want to do more puzzling.
I bet. I imagine it becomes a little bit addicting, especially if you have, a specialization. For example, we have Courtney Puzzled Twin Mama here in the chat saying that she's a border specialist.
Yeah. I also am more of a edge specialist in so much as that I find that it's easier to stand up. You have one less side. I enjoy the idea of bringing all of those parts together. The border, the frame, the edge, it's important for defining the puzzle.
Okay.
The space that a puzzle is in. If you're the kind of person like myself who really benefits from knowing where the space is that you're puzzling in, it's nice to have that edge stood up.
Right. That makes total sense. Oh, we have Lane Weatherly back to make another
Okay, guys,
announcement.
2-minute warning.
2-minute
warning. All right.
And I know
Right.
when we have Jim Eakins on later on in the weekend,
Sure.
he will tell you exactly how many pieces are typically in an edge, but one of the things the edge does is it gets a bunch of pieces out of the way, right? So
Right.
either you're going to sort them out and put them into a pile and sort of not pay any attention to them, or you're going to sort them and then you're going to tackle them first because you feel like you can get them stood up really fast. And a whole bunch, not only does it define that border for you and the space that you're going to work in and gives you a lot of things that you can build from often,
Sure.
but it also gets those pieces out of all the rest of the pieces. So you're not having
Right.
to like sort through the edge parts to find other parts that you might care about.
Right.
There's another person who's got most of the back of the truck here worked through and is now playing in the harder edges where there's more noise and less well-defined parts of the puzzle.
Beautiful selection from Cobble Hill. Cobble Hill Puzzles, one of our sponsors here today, provided the puzzles that we are seeing our competitors work on. We've got about 1 minute on the clock until we are calling time for the first preliminary round.
Yeah, and again, I want to thank Cobble Hill for bringing new puzzles
Yes.
because new puzzles are the best way to determine how you do relative to everybody else. Your skills and experience certainly count, but it takes the fact that you may have known a puzzle out of play. So it's nice and challenging and not all that common to be able to get new puzzles.
We have a commenter indicating that the border usually contains about 20% of the pieces for most 500-piece puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense, you're really eliminating a huge chunk of pieces that could fall in the rest of the
10
puzzle.
seconds.
That's right.
10 seconds remain.
All right. 5, 4,
Just looking for the last thing you can jam in there.
2, 1.
One.
Okay.
All right.
Woo! All right. Congratulations to everyone. That is the first prelim, individual prelim in the books. And looking forward to our next event, which starts at 1:30. So go grab some food from these good vendors that we have here.
Yep.
Home Bar and King Tamale. And we'll see you back in shortly.
So I don't know about you, Rob, but I'm ready for a snack.
Yeah, I think we've earned it. Thanks everybody for tagging along with us on this part of the adventure. Please tune into the next live streams. We've got one coming up in a half an hour.
Yep.
And they will be going throughout the weekend. We'll have a variety of guests and obviously a lot of puzzling competition content. So
Yep.
look forward to seeing you in a bit.
We'll be back soon. Thanks so much, everybody.